Sets were a huge problem in Diablo 3. You didn't really pick your build, gear slots were spoken for. These sets did obscene amounts of damage. I'm talking tens of thousands, as opposed to what we currently have is 1,000% damage multiplier on our paladin. It was ridiculous. A lot of times these tens of thousands of multipliers were gated behind getting the 6-piece set rather than just 2 or 3, leaving most of our gear slots in Diablo 3 spoken for. There wasn't a whole lot of choice because we had to make the choice to sacrifice 6 of our slots for that huge bonus. Lord of Hatred has now fixed that mistake by putting the set pieces into a different tab onto what we call the Talisman. This prevents the sets from competing with our actual items in our inventory. It gives them their own lane. So there's different types of charms you can get. There's obviously across all rarities, and then there's seals, all right? And when you get the set pieces, they're in the charms. The part that goes in the middle is the seal, and as you can see, it modifies the set. With the biggest problem of the Diablo 3 sets being that they were way overtuned with tens of % of damage multipliers. We can see right here that we're only getting a 60% damage multiplier, which is big in the grand scheme of things, but it's not absurd. We also get a new status effect for the rogue, which is Vengeance, which we've never heard of before. Diablo 3's biggest problem was its vertical progression. It had way too much power creep because of these set items in part, and you would just see larger numbers on your screen and go up higher in the rifts. When we see things like new status effects, or when they talk about things in the Sanctuary sit down, like having your druid transform into a bear, we get what we call horizontal progression. A build with druid werebear companions or bear companions is going to have a completely different play style than a druid build like Shred, which plays off of melee werewolf skills. By experimenting with these different play styles in horizontal progression, we changed the identity of our builds. In Diablo 3, when you equipped a set, you kind of just stopped being your character and you became that build. There was no experimentation. If you had the Grace of Inarius set, you're the Grace of Inarius. If you had the Tal Rasha set, you're Tal Rasha. In the short run, that feels really good. You get a lot of instant gratification from seeing huge damage numbers on your screen, and that addict part of my brain wants more of that. But in the long run, it's not really rewarding creativity. We don't get to experiment as much. It's just rewarding compliance. So where this could go wrong in Diablo 4 sets is if even 2 of these set pieces are better than the rest, then it just collapses into a hidden meta, which means it's no better than another mapped out route on the skill tree. Same song, different bird. These things need balance. I think the horizontal progression piece is going to be what separates this from just another seasonal powers tab and actual meaningful choices that we can continue to make. They did a great job by putting this into its new tab and putting set pieces onto its new thing. I believe they still need to preserve the ritual of finding the sets. In Diablo 3, they had set dungeons. That was cool. If these things can just drop anywhere from anybody or just on another boss loot table, I'm not going to care as much about them. It's not going to feel as special. All in all, the overall vibe I get from the Talisman, like the rest of the expansion, is cautiously optimistic. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you made it this far, thanks so much for watching. If you like this video, press that like button. If you like me, subscribe. Peace.